Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Boston Tea Party. This is obviously the second episode. There was a first one. It was very good fun. Go watch it if you haven't already. Or no, stay watching if you're live. Stay with us. Don't leave us now. It would be so nice to actually have a viewer on one of these games. And if you are watching, don't forget to tweet James Norbury and let him know that we're playing his game. His Twitter handle is @CorporationRPG. Go let James, if you're watching, let us know. And when you finish tweeting him, tweet Theresa May, tell her she's a bitch and I don't like her. Right. When last seen, you can't really say heroes in this game, can you? What was the collective noun for corporation agents?
A fuck up?
The ensembled individuals, the party of miscreants.
A collective of corporation?
Would it be like crows? Would you say the murder?
Could be a
No,
murder.
I would say a fuck up of corporation.
The invoice. If it's corporations, it's going to be all about invoicing. No, right, anyway, the group are being interrogated in a dimly lit office with wood-panelled walls with a large window overlooking the Boston cityscape. In front of that window right now is a woman dressed in what can only be described as a reenactment of Elizabeth I with more makeup. I saw her in Finland. Okay. And she asked the question, tell me about what happened when you... fuck, I can't remember. There was some kind of... oh yes, the regional processing plant, was it, or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start of adventure, second session blues of yeah, anyway, moving on. I'm a quality GM, trust me. Tell me what happened when you went to the regional distribution centre. Of course you're not going to say anything, are you? Still not revealing a word. Oh, Smeg, I haven't got my notes open. What's the guy's name? You know, I was so wrapped up in getting the stream working, I completely forgot to.
I have a word for you.
The fuck up of a GM, thank you. It's a
Yeah,
GM.
I have a word for you. I think it's an entirely appropriate word for 3 upscale English people to be saying to you downtrodden American. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
It's ironic that America has become anti-disestablishmentarianist and Britain has kind of gone the other way. But anyway, she says, put my special strain in, Mr. Pitch. The very special strain. Our 3 adventurers are currently chained to chairs at the far end of the room. Behind them is Mr. Pitch, who hasn't come into view yet. Our heroes are connected to gigantic buckets, out of which comes an intravenous drip into their arm, through which thick, viscous brown liquid traverses directly into their veins. Mr. Pitch tops up their cups with a special strain. It was several weeks ago when you attacked the regional distribution centre. You arrived outside at night and found it was really just a nondescript building. It had a few lorry ports for lorries to deliver things in. A front door that looked like any other office building door, and it didn't really have much in the way of corporate branding on the offices themselves. It's a fairly run-down building. Looks quite old and tatty, and there was no real activity outside it. At the time you arrived, you could hear the sounds of machinery inside. The lorry ports have shutters in front of them. There are no lorries there currently. It looks like there's lights on in the main factory, but the office, where the little door at the front of the building is, the lights there are off.
So is this building in sort of like a compound? Is it like a fenced off area?
The building is surrounded by what I suppose you'd describe as a car park of sorts. Around that is a fenced off area, but that's purely to separate it from other units in the area. There's a driveway in, but it's not guarded or anything.
Can I ask for a bit of context?
Think of it as a bit like an industrial estate, and this is a nondescript unit.
Yeah, but in terms of, obviously we had the Costa shop opposite ours that we destroyed.
Oh, you mean in terms of where it is?
Well, just how did we reach the point of, okay, we're going to actually now go to this regional distribution centre?
It was something you decided to do in the last flashback. So currently...
Yeah, because we were talking about putting stuff in the coffee, and we realised that there was actually
it was piped in, wasn't it?
It was piped in from this central area. So if we were going to do that, we were going to have to go to this hub and basically destroy several stores worth of coffee all in one go. It's a tough job, but somebody's bladder's got to do it.
I think I misinterpreted what you said then. Because I thought that we thought of that, then changed our mind, and then decided to flood the place, and then this Queen Elizabeth woman just assumed that that's what we wanted to do, when actually we hadn't. So, yeah, I misinterpreted.
Yes, well, the whole thing's being told in flashback, so there will be some confusion. In this case, we are flashing back to the night you went to the distribution centre. At some point, we'll probably flash back to why. This is not linear storytelling by any stretch.
No.
So, you have arrived at the distribution centre. There's clearly activity inside, but the offices are empty. What did you do?
We need to get a peek inside, I suppose. Perhaps we can get into the offices. There might be CCTV on showing the actual factory side.
Yeah, I'm finding the lack of people disturbing.
Well, hopefully at night there won't be many people there in the distribution centre. I wouldn't have thought. Most coffee shops will shut this sort of time.
It will start getting busy again about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so now's the time to do it, obviously. But if we just need to see how many people's in there first, don't we?
Yeah, I find the lack of folks disturbing.
Yeah, if we head to the offices, we're bound to access some door codes as well.
Yeah. Head to the office.
Okay, you head to the exterior door for the offices, and it is unlocked. You slowly open the door and peer inside. The lights in here are off. There's a reception desk, there's nobody at it, and behind it are a few workstations. There's a door to your left labelled tasting room, and a corridor that goes off ahead of you, and at the end of which there's a double door to a factory unit beyond which the lights are clearly on. But you can't see far into it because there's some machinery obstructing your view into the factory room.
Tasting room. Disgusting
Sorry,
idea.
not tasting room. My apologies. Flavour room.
So all the syrups.
Right. There'd be an interesting place to sort of attack. First of all, add some unique flavours to the mix.
But what would there be? I suppose if there's a flavour room, if they add the flavours separately to the coffee as it goes through, but I think I'll check out the flavour room.
Yeah.
As you enter the flavour room, luminescent lights light up along the ceiling, and the whole ceiling lights up to illuminate a room that is quite small. It's white tiled walls all around, and in the middle of the room is a chair, a little side table with a glass of water, a sample pot next to the glass of water, which is empty, and the chair faces a wall that has a screen, like a television screen type thing, but is currently off. The lights flicker on, and a low hum as they achieve their full luminescence then begins to fade away as the lights maintain their power.
Okay. Are you guys following me in?
Yes, but I do have one of my I do have my pistol out at this point.
Although
I am sort of.
I'm sorry, Phil, I missed what you said.
I'll just stay by the door at this stage.
Okay, at this point, if you guys are sort of quite close to me, I sort of hold my hand and go, hold on a minute. This room, the interior screams cameras.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my telepathy power of prescience. I never know how to pronounce this damn word. Prescience.
Okay, how many telepathic points are you putting into it?
I might as well do 5 at this point, because this is the regional branch of flavour tasting. Right, okay. And that lasts for a whole scene, I believe.
It does indeed, yes.
Totally take away. Okay, so I'm then going to slowly move around the perimeter towards this television and just keep an eye out if I can see any obvious cameras. But more to the point, I'd like to avoid the sort of the general like direction the television is facing, you know, in case there's kind of any kind of inbuilt camera with that.
So as you come into the room, the television is on the wall that you're sort of would walk past, as it were. Like,
okay, that's fine.
And it's to your left.
Yeah.
The television is embedded into the wall. It seems to be a permanent fixture, not something mounted to it. So there's no exposed cabling. It doesn't even appear to be an on button.
Okay. I give it a little. Once I get to, I give it like a little feel around the edge of the monitor.
So the screen itself is just flush with the wall. So this was probably put in when the wall was at least tiled, if not built.
Okay, but there's no indicator of any sort of embedded camera or microphone?
None that you can sense or detect.
Okay. I say to the others, well, this seems to be remote operated. There's no cameras that I can see or feel.
Okay. I head further into the room. I'm sort of keeping up with Jason.
Okay.
I'm not stepping anywhere where he hasn't stepped. The last thing I want to do is accidental.
He's only shuffled along the wall to the left.
Yeah, I'm doing the wall side shuffle as well.
Okay.
I'm still keeping a lookout at the door.
I so wanted to say Wall Street Shuffle there, but I didn't think anyone would get the reference.
I'm wondering. I take a good look at the chair and sort of move around it, kneel down, because I'm wondering if perhaps it's either heat or weight detected, where when you sit on it, the television kind of comes on.
Okay, as you walk forward to inspect the chair, the television does indeed come on.
Ouch.
What appears on screen is a woman that looks very much like she's dressed like Elizabeth I. Hello and welcome to Costa Coffee, the woman on the screen says. Thank you very much for joining our flavour programme. Now, what I want you to do is consume the water in the glass and then just wait for that to pass. But whilst it's passing, I want you to think only this thought: buy more Costa coffee. I must have another Costa coffee. When you're ready, please use the sample container to alleviate yourselves, and you will be paid shortly. Thank you so much for joining Costa Coffee. Welcome to the family. My name is Madam Two Swords. And the screen goes off.
Okay. I'm not going to consume the liquid, but I wouldn't mind sort of swirling it around a bit, giving it a sniff. Is it warm? Is it cold?
It appears to be water at room temperature.
Is there any kind of artificial smell in there?
None at all.
Why the hell is she calling it a flavour then? It's like water, this.
Maybe to their rather simplistic palate, they're just not used to the taste of fresh water.
Phil, could you make me in fact, no. I'm not going to get you to roll for this. I think it's just now it's the right time to reveal it. You are not in the room. You're still in the sort of reception area. Yeah. When you notice a panel on the wall that appears to roughly line up where the television is. It's quite a small panel, and it was partially obscured by a plastic plant placed more or less in front of it, kind of next to it. And you notice it has the light, or it has 8 buttons, and the light on one has just gone out. You didn't notice it come on.
Okay, so I won't say anything to the other two, but I'll just wander over and I'll just move the plant out of the way and peer closely. Is there anything written on the button?
Yes. It basically, the panel says flavour programme, and then it's numbered 1 to 8. The buttons are numbered 1 to 8.
Okay, so I'm going to push number 1.
Okay, the video message you just saw suddenly repeats on the screen.
And then I'll press number 8.
A new video message appears on the screen. It's the same woman. Hello and welcome to the Costa family. My name is Madame Two Swords. You can think of me as your mother. Before you is a very special cup of coffee. Now, as somebody without a home and who's not had food for a long time, I think you'll find that this is a generous gift. Why don't you drink the coffee? Drink the coffee.
Just to check, when you say that it's playing this message, is it from where we are, where Phil is?
Yeah, it's playing it in the room you're in.
Okay.
I was going to say, can I tell anything's happening, or am I just pushing buttons and nothing's happening?
Oh, you can hear the thing in the other room, because the door, you've got the door open at the moment.
Okay, I sort of lean over and shout, Augustus, are you fiddling with things? Because this television keeps changing.
Yeah, sorry dear boy, I think that might have been me. Shall I try another? Number 5.
Yes, by all means.
Hello, my name is Madame Two Swords. You can think of me as Mummy. Welcome to the family. Now, as a disenfranchised non-citizen, you've probably wondered, how on earth can you get by in this vicious corporate world? Well, with the Costa family, we've found a way to make you useful again. All you need to do is drink the coffee that is in front of you. Jace, the water on the table is currently being replaced by an arm that's come up out of the floor. It's a little metal clasp thing, sort of robotic arm. It grabs the water and it retrieves down inside. Then another flap in the floor opens up and a pot of coffee, hot coffee, comes up. It's put on the table and then the arm goes away and the flap in the floor closes again.
Okay.
Drink the coffee and you'll become part of the Costa family. And in the Costa family, everyone's a citizen.
Right, okay. So she's obviously tailoring to the weak, the curious, the disenfranchised, trying to recruit people to her coffee religion. So just to check, when the water changed, was it just during that last program, or because there were a couple of times when it was like drink the coffee and blah blah?
Yeah, on program 8 it didn't put a coffee out.
Just number 5. Number 8, that was the one that was about like citizens, well, not citizens, like being really poor and hungry and it's a gift.
Yeah.
She does seem to be tailoring her messages to the specific groups. From a psychological point of view, I'm rather impressed by her marketing strategy.
I say, what's happening? Do you want me to push any more buttons?
Yeah, so hold on. We've gone through 3 different ones, is that right?
Yeah, 1, 8 and 5.
Okay, obviously I don't know the buttons, but okay. Okay, yes, try a different one if there is one.
Okay, I'll try 2.
Welcome to the family of Costa Coffee. Now, I'm sure you've been looking for a new way to contribute to our society. Well, let's be honest, a new way to take from our society. At Costa, you will no longer need to take from society, we will give to you. Give, it's a gift. All you have to do is drink the free coffee that we've given you, no strings attached. Drink the free coffee, and the coffee is being replaced. Drink the coffee and you will be a member of our family. This is a free gift and it's a show of faith. If you drink the coffee we have given to you, we will continue to give you food and nourishment. We know it's hard not being a citizen, and we know it's hard for you to trust us, given that we are citizens and we have not been depersonalized. But with the Costa family, we don't care about your citizenship rank. We don't care if you've been discarded by society. We're about finding constructive, positive encouragement to live our lives together as a family. My name is Madame Two Swords, and I hope that in time you will come to see me as a mother of the family, rather than a CEO. The coffee that you should now be drinking is delicious. I want you to savour that thought as you drink it. The coffee is delicious, isn't it? It's probably the first food or drink you've had in a long time, and there's enough nourishment and calories in Costa coffee to replace any meal you could ever dream of having. Now, there is a little sample pot on the side when you're ready to alleviate yourself, because you are drinking a lot of coffee, and let's be honest, it's a diuretic. Now, there is a sample pot on the side. If you could just alleviate yourself in that to save any mess in the room, we would appreciate it, because it keeps the room clean for the next needy person who comes to us.
Is the robotic arm still sort of out of the floor?
Well, the robot arm changed the coffee, but if you want to sort of do something with the arm, you can always, press another button and up it'll come again.
Yeah, I was going to say, August, let's press it one more time.
Okay, I'll press 2 again.
Okay, the same pattern repeats.
Okay, so as the arm is sort of coming up, I go, right, yeah, definitely want to alleviate myself now, and I actually piss all over the arm.
Can't see a stat for this. Okay. Let's have a presence plus cybernetics and robotics roll. I need one for medicine.
Roll for this. Wow.
Oh yeah. I want to. Yeah, I do.
Who wants to take this?
Okay, that's a fail.
Okay, so yes, the arm gets wet. Some of the pee does go in the coffee, though.
Okay. So it gives it more flavour.
You know, I do wonder. I do suddenly have a thought. All these wonderful people that they're helping, supposedly, all they have to do is drink the coffee, and then they'll never need to worry, and they'll be part of the Costa family. Why doesn't that sound like... I just find myself wondering if they ever actually leave this processing plant alive.
Phil.
Indeed.
Out of the factory, or the factory door swings open, and somebody in blue overalls with a blue hairnet is shuffling towards you with a vacant look on their face.
Is that past me?
Yeah, they're coming. So the factory's at the end of the corridor as you came in through the office door. The flavour room is on the left. They are coming from that factory door down the corridor into the darkness. Their hand reaches up for the light switch. And on comes the light.
I'll stand behind the plant.
Hello, it says, as it shuffles past to the computer at the reception desk and powers it on.
Good evening.
Can I help you?
No, I've got everything I think I want at the moment, thank you. I'll just start.
Very good.
I'll walk back to the door and I'll say, what are you doing in there? Just someone appeared from the factory. Have you touched anything?
I was trying to break the establishment, but never mind. Is there somebody around?
Yes, he seems completely out of it. Just a normal week.
Are you waiting to see someone?
I come through and try and get a look at whatever this worker is typing.
Oh, so you come around the reception desk to have a look from behind. Oh, hello, sir. Can I help you at all? You read the screen, and basically there is a delivery arriving imminently. That's
yes.
what you get from it.
Yes. I suppose you can help me. I am here as we were looking in the taster's room. We're representatives of the Taster's Choice. We're out to give the gold blend standard, and my name is House, Maxwell House. And if you'd like to come this way. And yes, that's 3 different brands of coffee I managed to get into that sentence.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, technically 2 brands of coffee because Taster's Choice is the American name for Gold Blend. But
I'm terribly sorry. I'm quite busy, so I can't really come anywhere with you. I have a job to do.
yes, but so do I.
I'm sure whoever you are here to see will be with you soon. And they stand up and they start to walk back to the factory unit.
Yes, at this point I shoot them.
Oh, oh, that's awfully blunt. Okay, well, they are caught off surprise. They're not a particularly combatant person. You riddle them with however many holes you like, and they collapse to the ground in a pool of blood.
I say, old man, that was quite rude, wasn't it?
I step out at that point to see what's going on.
Vacant-like person's name was James. Before joining Costa Coffee, James was happily married. And somewhere there are dependents who presumably must have been benefiting from James's paycheck at Costa Coffee. Just thought I'd like to know that.
Oh well.
I get out my gun and say,
That's
what's
the
going
grind.
on? What's going on? What's happened?
We
Who's
have
that?
an arrival. There's we're about to have imminent arrivals.
Headlights momentarily light up the office as a lorry
Very
coming into the
eminent.
driveway illuminates from the outside, and then the lorry proceeds down the side of the building towards the loading or the lorry bays.
Okay.
Well, help me get this body into the flavour room a second.
Yeah, to flavor it. Hold on a minute. I want to.
Yeah,
just check. I want to check through, see if there's anything. He must have been somebody who drank in the flavour room, surely. You look at him; he's so vacant, and well, he has been shot, but
Very vacant now.
yeah. So I start like fumbling in his overalls, seeing if there's any kind of identity card or something like that.
Don't forget, it says corporation, everyone is chipped. And you have chip
Oh, yeah,
readers
of
as
course.
agents.
Yeah. All right, then I do a chip read. I didn't think he would have a chip.
You do a chip read, and it comes up, James Norbury, depersonalised.
Oh, poor James.
Formerly agent of, formerly employed by Western Federation. Discredited.
Ah.
Oh, so he could have been one of these down and outs.
What do you mean? What do you mean, poor James? It's worse than that. He's dead, James.
Yes, thanks to you.
Yes,
Surely-
let's throw in a Star Trek reference as well.
The question that's going through my head, gentlemen, is once somebody drinks this coffee, where the hell do they go?
I would suggest that we make all haste to the factory area.
Yes.
As you start going to the factory area, the door opens again as you're walking towards it, and there are 3 workers just sort of entering the corridor, all kind of dressed the same, the blue overalls, the blue hairnet thing, and they're all quite surprised to see someone there. Oh, hello.
Lord, say you want to speak to the
Are you from
mother.
head office?
Yes, we've come for an inspection. We're doing an audit. We need
Oh,
to
well,
see
look,
one of these material transfers.
gotta be honest, absolutely dying for a wee. I'm gonna head to the flavour room.
Okay, at that I'm going to sort of linger behind, and I just sort of do a nod to the others that say, go on ahead. I'm going to keep an eye on that, see what happens.
Okay. Why do I get the impression the best thing we could possibly do to screw Costa up is not by actually urinating in it, but actually making them deliver real coffee?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean the flavour room? No, you have real toilets.
So you guys head into the factory. Meanwhile, Jason, I'm sorry, Xavier?
Xerxes.
Xerxes. Xerxes, you observe these three people go into the flavour room, or at least the first one goes into the flavour room. Says, "Oh, James is dead. He appears to have been shot." Dear. Picks him up, drags him out of the flavour room, blood trailing behind him as he's dragged out. Walks back into the flavour room and closes the door.
Okay. As he's closing the door, I would try and kind of put my foot just a little bit into it so he feels like the door's closed, but actually it hasn't.
Okay. It plays the last program you left on, and the person in there's like, "This doesn't seem right." Okay. Oh, somebody pissed in that. Oh, this program, I don't like this flavour. And then it gets to a latter part of the recording, after they're drunk, and the TV comes back on for a second part that you've not witnessed before. Now,
Okay, I listen very carefully.
whilst that digests, I want you to think very, very carefully of the following. You must fill your mind with this thought and no other thought.
Can I just stop you a second? Is there any way for me to record this from my speaker or something like that?
Yeah, you've
from
got.
this point forward.
You've got. Although the phones you've got are flip phones because fashion, they are still actually as powerful as any smartphone. So yeah.
Okay.
Easily
definitely
done.
record this. Yeah.
And we'll carry on just after I've been to the toilet myself.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
all
I
this
was going
talk
to
about
say.
urination has made me want to go. So I'll be back in a minute.
There we go. I wonder where that was going there for a while.
I was starting to think that's why I put up in the chat. Costa Coffee is people.
Yeah.
We're doing a variation on Soylent Green.
Yes, it does seem that way.
I couldn't resist doing the three coffees.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to get mellow birds into the but I haven't found a way to do mellow birds quite yet.
That's an old one, isn't it? They still do that, do they?
I don't know, but I always remember the adverts from when I was a kid. You know, coffee was too
bitter, wasn't it?
Too bitter, and then they'd put in mellow birds, and it was just nice. Can't quite figure out a way to do Nescafe.
That's a nice cafe.
That's a yes. Actually, yes. We could do a play on words there. Yes, actually, that would work.
Sorry, I caused
we're
a
just
bit of a queue, so Jason's just finishing off.
We're just figuring out ways for to get other brands of coffee into the conversation. I'm determined not to leave it at Taster's Choice Gold Blend and Maxwell House.
That's better.
You must think this thought. I will walk into machine B. I will walk into machine B. Heat is good for me. Heat is good for me. I will walk into machine B. Heat is good for me. Repeat that over and over in your mind. And when you're ready, please urinate in the sample cup. And the screen goes out.
Okay, I activate my speaker and say to the others, look for machine B.
Okay.
This Madame Two Swords is telling this worker to step into it.
She's waxing lyrical about it, is she?
Okay, You walk into the factory area, there's a machine immediately in front of you, and you kind of walk around it, and then you see the factory itself. On the right-hand wall are 3 loading bays. One of them has currently, the shutter is open, and a lorry is reversing into it. Within the factory floor itself are 4 machines, A, B, C, and D. With each of those machines, there are railings that sort of make walkways up to the machines. Those walkways lead up to the loading bays. One of the machines has no, apparently no input, but all of the machines are connected by a pipe.
Which one apparently has no input? Is it B?
Well, it's connected to the other machines, but it doesn't have a railing leading up to it. It's the D machine.
The D machine.
Is there anyone around the loading bay with the lorries backing up? Or is it?
No. The whole factory floor seems empty, but as the lorry backs up, the shutters open, and out start walking a lot of people. And they're all going into the aisle that will eventually lead to machine B. Some of these people look like they're depersonalized. Some of these people look like they're from a reasonably nice district.
I say, I think we may be looking at how Costa Coffee keeps its stocks up.
Yes, that's why it tastes so bad.
You know, dear boy, I think our idea of simply urinating into the vats is simply not going to work in this case. I think we're going to have to do something a little more proactive.
And it's at that moment you find yourself back in the interrogation room, facing Madame Two Swords. But what I'm curious about is why you even went to the distribution centre. How did you find it? Was it the landlord? Tell me about when he came back around to collect the rent. And we go back to a time when you're in your shop, and in walks the landlord. Ooh, I've got his name. I wrote it down and everything. Gerard, the estate agent. And he's got his assistant with him, Mandy. Howdy there, fellas. I just came round to check everything was okay with the property and, you know, pick up the rent and stuff. You have the rent, right?
We have the rent.
That's great, because, you know, I've had so much trouble this week. One of my properties around the corner, it had a big flood, and now the customer, they're now suing me, even though it was their machinery that damn well leaked. I mean, goddamn. Well, how is that my fault? I just provided the bricks.
You just can't get the service these days. It's absolutely. I feel absolutely sorry for you. Why don't you come and have a nice cup of tea?
Yes, it would never happen with Josh.
I've told you before, I ain't trying none of them English drugs. God damn it, no, I'm a coffee man.
Yes, but
These people who want to sue you, who are they exactly? Being British, I don't really understand suing people for petty reasons.
Oh, it's just this Costa company, you know, they do coffee. You know, it's my drink. I love a nice cup of char. Anyway, I let this place to them just around the corner from here, and it flooded. Their machinery messed up somehow, and now they're suing me for it. And so, you know, I'm just making sure the rent arrives on time. Wanted to introduce you to Mandy as well, so, you know, when if she pops around for the rent, because, you know, I'm going to be fighting this legal case, so, you know,
well,
I might not be around myself.
I was going to suggest we could always do a bit of inside work for you, if you like, in terms of why they want to sue you. Maybe put a gloss over everything, get you out of the woods.
Hey, look, if there's anything you can do to get me out of this spot, I don't want to know details. I can't do, it's a court case now. But if there's anything you can do, I'll see you good on the rent.
Well, I think we could talk to them. Obviously, clearly, is the business the one that got flooded? Is it has it reopened, or is it still closed at the moment?
Oh, they were up and running again the next day, but the thing is they missed their launch day, and apparently that cost them millions, so their lawyers claim.
It seems to me that perhaps what we need to do is not talk to them, perhaps talk to their management. Do you have an address for them?
Well, I got their head office address. That's all over their lawyers. I got their lawyer's address. Obviously, I know the regional distribution depot because I rent that to them too.
Oh, well, we could start with that since I suppose the local area is suing you. We could always start there and maybe move our way up.
Yeah, sure. Mandy will sort you out the address. It's just out of town. Lovely little factory unit. Had no problems with them there. It's just this damn shop. Wish I'd never done business with a big shot corporation, frankly.
Would we be able to have our transport possibly paid for?
Hey, look, if you're going to do anything with Costa, I cannot be involved for legal reasons. I can't have a receipt of that. But what I can do, if something comes of your work, you can be sure I will do you a good turn on the rent. Like there might not even be any. You get me off this, hell, you can have the shop they're suing me over.
Fantastic. I think we have a deal.
Yes, I think we can accommodate you. I think it's the least we could do given the wonderful hospitality that you've shown us since we've arrived here. Absolutely fantastic. You are a true gentleman, sir. Absolutely. And Mandy, beautiful as an airplane. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So if I could just have this week's rent, that would be awesome. And we move forward in time back to your regional distribution center raid. Just as the row of people get to Machine B, and they just walk inside, and you hear screams. The machine lights up like they walk into it, and it's like they're walking into the darkness, and then you see it light up from inside as they're screaming in pain. And then the next person walks in.
I'll flip open my pink phone, and I'll say, Xerxes, you might want to make it to the shop floor pretty quick. There's some stuff you want to see here.
Yep.
Maybe why me? But
just as you're about to head out, the worker comes out, the one that went into the loo. The other two are stood outside, waiting to go in with their legs crossed. It's got the sample pot, and he goes into the reception area, finds a lid, and then puts it in a jiffy bag, and puts it into a crate that's down the floor next to one of the filing cabinets. There's several other packets in there, and then he gets a sticky label off and puts a number 1 on it. And the moment he came out, the next worker ran into the flavour room, and then the worker that's still waiting and the one that came out of the room talk to each other. The guy that came out of the room says, I don't ever remember Program 1 being like that. Oh, it was frightening. Just check what program it's on for me, would you? And the other worker just, oh, it's on Program 2. We ain't meant to be using Program 2. Oh no. No, we're supposed to be doing Program 1 this week. Damn. And they press the 1. And the guy from that's gone into the room's like, hey! I was about to piss! And then the first worker sort of takes the label off the jiffy bag and puts the number 2 on it. And goes, I don't know if I should send this in given they asked for number 1. Well, as long as we hit the quota of number 1, it's okay, right? It's just got to be number 1 on the number 1 packet. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
At that point, I step in and I sort of hold up my phone and say, I've just recorded all of what you said.
Yeah, that's fine. We're doing nothing illegal here.
If you pass off a number 1, however, as a number 2 or vice versa, I think you're doing something terribly wrong.
Yes, I'm leaving it as number 2. Look, I've put number 2 in. It was an honest mistake.
But I could easily show this conversation to Madame Tussauds herself. You are planning maliciousness behind her back.
No, if you
messing
listen
up
to
the programs.
Conversation, you'll see that we're making sure we hit quota 1. In fact, I am going to drink
Indeed, but you're implying that you're...
I'm going to drink extra water to make sure that we still hit quota.
But how do I know that you're not just doing program number 2 and you're passing it up as a number 1?
I just did program 2 and put a 2 sticker on as soon as I realized the error.
I'm assuming they're very sort of glossed and...
A bit, but there's a kind of intensity there.
Yeah. I'm not feeling anything from my prescience.
No, not at this moment. This person just seems... It's very black and white.
Where do these bags go once you've finished in here?
Well, we send them off for testing, of course. Back to
Where?
head office, and then they come back again as coffee, I guess. I mean, we get coffee. I don't really know the full process.
May I take one of those bags?
Well, you could take the number 2, because that's not part of our quota this week.
Okay. Anything to raise your quota.
But, well, number 1s, if you need to go to the loo, if you could do program 1, that would be great.
I am not a worker, therefore I'm not going to give you a heinous advantage.
Yeah, like just... I'm 1 urination cycle down now.
Then you better drink more.
I'm trying. Look, I'm already gonna go get me a water. And he walks off.
So I go out of the room where I'm alone and take a look at this bag. Is it still quite warm?
Yeah, it's not long come out of a human body. Won't be long till it finds its way back in one.
No. And is there any kind of discoloration? Obviously, I'm not really that big on medical science, but okay, it's just like urine. Okay.
Meanwhile, back on the factory floor, the people have mostly finished going into the machine now, and there's this little gauge on the side that's kind of the little arrows pointing to full. And you know, the last person steps in. It's a woman holding a dog. She goes in.
Just before she goes in, I said, "I think I'll film this. A couple of these chaps. And I'll just film that on mine."
I start looking at. I sort of go closer to these 4 machines, sort of looking at. Do they have like levers and dials and?
Yeah, there's a few on the outside that I guess do things.
Let's find out what they do. More specifically, I'm looking for the bit that stops flow.
Okay, can you make an intelligence plus mechatronics roll?
Otherwise known as an intelligence roll.
Yeah.
If you'd stop playing around with industrial machinery and do something else, you might not get mechatronics tests.
No, fail by 2.
Okay, you cannot identify what does what on this machine. It doesn't make much sense to you in terms of how it works. You don't get the concepts.
Is there a big red button, old man?
I'm just having a look, dear boy. There seems to be an awful lot of buttons and gears and levers. I'm rather tempted to just shoot the fuck out of it.
Okay, the first worker to use the flavour room re-enters the factory, huge glass of water in his hand as he comes in.
Are you allowed to have water on the shop floor?
Yes, it's part of my job. Also, we're a worker down now. James Norbury appears to have shot himself or something.
Well, that's very inconsiderate of him. He very well would get fined by the company for that.
Well, that's because of all the stress, dear boy. Clearly, James was overly stressed. You should be more mellow, bird, you know.
Well, from what I understand, it's because he's an American. They're always doing it.
The worker goes up to the machine that Ronnie stood next to. Excuse me, I need to press some controls.
Oh, so you understand this machine then, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good grief, no, I'm just doing what... Oh, that's a good question.
What are you doing now then?
I don't know. It's never occurred to me.
But what is the purpose? What is the end result of all your fiddling and turning and twisting?
It's a good question. Wish I knew.
Well, they tell you why you were doing this then? What if something happens that is out of the ordinary? Do you know what to do?
What? Out of the ordinary? Well, I suppose James being shot was out of the ordinary. Should I do something with that? I don't feel the inclination to.
About the machine. If something goes wrong with the machine, what do you do?
Well, I don't know.
Sir, I do hope that you don't take this the wrong way, but you do realise that you're about as useful as a marzipan dildo.
Well, I always hit quota. Noise starts up from the machine where he's been fiddling with it, and as far as you can tell, it's pumping.
I would just like to say, just for copyright purposes, that I do not own that particular insult. That is insult courtesy of the thick of it in Malcolm Tucker.
So this machine sort of connects to machine A and machine C, and it appears to be pumping into machine C. And machine C obviously is connected to D, which doesn't seem to connect to anything except the outside world. The pump goes off into the ground.
Right.
So you don't know what these individual machines are then?
Well, no. Why would I?
The pipe that leads from machine D into the ground, is it exposed?
Well, only where it goes from machine D into the ground. After that it goes into the ground, obviously.
Yes. I go and have a look at it.
Yeah, it goes into the ground. It's got big bolts and stuff. It's a huge thing, it's this big. As it goes in, sort of connects to the machine, right angle, goes down, bolted into the ground, and then it goes off somewhere.
I see, boy.
Yes.
I think this is a lovely time for us to do some shooting practice.
This machine has a computer. You recognise it. It's the pump. Same software as what was on the pump in the shop.
Ooh, right. Who handled that last time? I think that was Xerxes, wasn't it? Yes,
it was.
Xerxes, you walk into the room having stated your intent to do so ages ago before I forgot.
Oh dear boy, over here!
You guys, you've got like sneakers. I kind of forgot about that last session as well, but we can communicate with each other.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Come over here, dear boy. There's a wonderful computer.
Would I be able to use a conviction point at this stage?
Yes, what would you like to use it for?
So, during, between the time of now, obviously, and when we were paying the rent, I decided to go downtown, have a little look for quite heavy-duty tools, in particular a blowtorch.
Yeah, you picked up a blowtorch. You did a bit of recon really before this actually going in, and did some research on the world data net, stuff like that. If you want, you can pick up a hacking rig as well.
Oh, a legal one or an illegal one?
Well, it would be illegal, but you could pick it up for the mission, dispose of it after. It's a conviction point after all.
I don't know why people think I'm so good at hacking when I'm not really, but obviously the hacking rig will help.
Yes, it will. So yeah, you in preparation, you kind of figure there'll be a pump there. You remember the name of the software it said at the top. It's some corporate piece of software that make industrial pumps. You research that. And you then speak to a contact, somebody on the world data net by the name of Shadow, and you speak to this Shadow person. Turns out it's just this guy that writes software for this industrial pump company, but likes the idea of having an anonymous name, but you're an agent and you trace him, and so you get some advice and stuff like that on the software. You pose as a prospective buyer, and and then you contact him again under a different pseudonym and pose as a corporate security network security agent and stuff. So you get information and from this Shadow, and you come prepared, -1 conviction point.
Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to go heavy duty just yet. Now I've got the hacking rig, I should be able to at least have a go with this computer panel. Try and redirect the pumping somehow, maybe put it in reverse.
Ooh, okay, you easily put the pump into reverse. Machine C starts filling up.
Yep, we could put it in reverse. We could blow the whole damn thing up.
The thing is, Machine B had just pumped into machine, or was just starting to pump into Machine C, so it's now filling up at twice the speed.
It's going to be full to bursting, dear boy.
Yes, we might want to leave.
Can we find a way? Is there a way to actually shut off the pump that goes into the ground? That actually goes into? Is there a way to? Is there like a shut off valve or something where we can shut off the flow completely?
Well, at the moment the flow is reversed, and you're basically taking coffee out of the system where it's all primed for the morning shift, as it were.
Yes.
So you've got several miles of pipe that you're sort of slowly pumping back.
Surely once it's collected up here, we can just leak it and this whole place will flood.
Yes. Yes. In fact, I think we should help it.
I take off the blowtorch off my back and hand it to you and say, okay, why don't you do the honours and I'll keep an eye on the flow.
What am I going to do with it?
Melt the pipes, that kind of thing.
The workers in the factory go over to the third loading bay and open it. They close the other one, sorry, and open the third bay, and another lorry reverses up, and there are lots of people getting out of the lorry and starting to walk down the aisles towards the machine.
Okay. Okay, so I say to Augustus, suppress fire them, stop them from coming up.
Okay. So I'll move over there and try and stop them.
So you start shooting at people.
Do we really want to
I
shoot?
specifically said suppress fire, not shoot them.
Or warning shots. So you send warning shots at them.
Yes.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yeah, I'll shoot above their heads.
Okay. The bullet has to go...
What are the stairs like?
Stairs?
Going up to this, you said, is it like a platform? Is there steps going up?
No, the railings are basically channeling people a bit like passport control.
Ah. So
I thought you sort of meant a bit about it as well, maybe a ramp, but no, that's fine.
It's a big machine. We can have a little ramp, but yeah, I mean, it's sure. Let's lift them up a bit, make them even bigger. So yeah, a raised gangplank in front of them, and it's all that kind of industrial steel that has that stamped pattern of 3 things one way, 3 things the other.
The railings that are actually guiding these people, what's it made of? Is it fairly sturdy? Is it welded? Is it movable?
Just steel or some kind of metal.
Okay.
Metal railings.
I was wondering if we could sort of like just change.
They're unpainted.
Channel them back out again, just by move.
They're just aimlessly walking along. As you fire shots over their head, they don't even seem to register. Several of them you think have wet themselves.
Are they Sorry, are they going single file?
They don't kind of have a file, really. They're just kind of shuffling like they're zombies.
Yeah.
And again, they look like they're largely depersonalized, but some of them look like they were possibly the kind of person who would drink at a Costa coffee.
I don't think this is going to work, old chap.
Okay, which chamber are they heading towards?
They are going to go into machine C.
Okay, so that's the one that's been filling up with liquid and stuff.
One of the workers is now heading over to machine C and starts priming it.
Okay, so I'm going to basically try and disable the control panel and the doors from where I am, if that's possible. Potentially with the hacking rig, if I can get into the mainframe.
You're by machine D, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so you connect up the hacking rig and you start trying to do things on the computer. Let's have an intelligence plus computers and AI test +8.
Yeah, I was going to say the hacking rig is quite good at that.
Where's the hacking rig and all the information you got from Shadow?
Yeah. So, where is it? Okay. Oh, god damn it, that's just over. Just a fail. I did get quite a shitty roll.
Yeah, no, the machines just aren't connected to each other, other than the flow.
Okay. In that case, I said to Augustus, shoot that control panel he's trying to handle.
So, bang, I'll just shoot it.
You shoot the control panel. The guy tries to press the buttons that you've just shot.
Does anything happen?
He's just carrying on, is he?
Yeah. It just presses a control panel that has just been basically buckled under the impact. And he just finds the mangled button and presses it anyway. Nothing registers on it. Just carries on. Meanwhile, you notice that the capacity needle is shaking on the 100 mark.
Yes, I think we need to leave.
Yeah, yes. Well, while the roller door's open, we might make a quick exit through that way.
Yeah, the lorry drives off. So you can now just see outside.
Yep.
What did we come in, by the way? Our rickety, crappy thing.
I'll assume you took public transport or something, but there's not. Let's see. Don't worry about that. Details.
That could be about to blow any second.
Yep. Is there are there controls for the doors outside?
Yeah. Well, the workers have just been lifting the shutters up and down, but one of them says, "Oh dear, that machine's gone wrong after you tampered with it. Mr. Pitch will not be pleased."
Yeah. He's getting a shot. I'm just going to shoot him.
You shoot him.
I'm going to shoot him.
Forehead, no problem. Goes down, dies there and then. Before he became depersonalized, his name was Steve Jobs. He was the CEO of a major corporation, and then
He's
he
still
went
alive?
all weird into what's that? What's that? The medicine where it's basically water and they put a tiny 1 parts per billion. Holistic.
Oh,
Got majorly into holistic medicines, but started getting coffee withdrawal symptoms. And one day he turned up at a Costa Coffee, so desperate he made a scene, and the result of which he ended up depersonalized.
Yeah. It's where I want to record
a.
It's where I want to record a quick message for Madame Two Swords and simply say, "Hey, Madame Two Swords, here is Steve Jobs. Now, no jobs." And walk on.
And so there you are, being interrogated by Madame Two Swords. I just don't understand why you went to the regional distribution centre and destroyed it in the way you did. I mean, anyone of their right mind would have just blown the place up. But you tea people. Very interesting. Now,
we have a fluid way of looking at things.
I believe you had a chance meeting with Mr. Pitch before the encounter. And none of you knew who each other were at the time. Quite a fascinating turn of events, don't you think? How you didn't realise that you were each looking for the other in a fashion. And there you were, passing each other innocuously. If only you would answer questions, then perhaps you could tell me about that. Mr. Pitch, ramp it up to maximum. And we'll be back right after this break.
So I've managed to pull off one Malcolm Tucker quote.
Yeah.
Named several kinds of coffee.
Well,
Managed to almost name 2 10cc songs.
being in the States is really affecting you. I'll be back.
And I'm shooting people. And yes, folks, here I am, all on my own again. This time, however, I am not going to be the halftime entertainment. I'll be back with the rest of them. Thanks for watching so far, and we'll be back momentarily.
God damn it, why am I still sort of hungry? I'm still a little bit out of sorts. I'm not quite ready. And I use the flashback. Yes. Yes. Got it all ramp up. Yes.
And I'm back. So, time to start bringing up the ante. Oh yes. Oh, we have multiple people's back. But not all people's.
Bringing up the ante?
Yes. It is time to bring up the ante.
And the uncle. Saying as I was saying before, I've managed to get a Malcolm Tucker insult in. I've managed to name drop several brands of coffee. And I've managed to nearly name 2 10cc songs.
We have had one viewer throughout, so hello viewer.
Hello viewer.
Even if you're
Hello,
a YouTube
Kaylee.
bot.
Brave soul.
Is it Kaylee?
I'm assuming it's Kaylee.
Could be Lord Morbius.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I still think it's Kaylee.
Yeah, Lord Morbius would have put something in the chat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, tell me about this incidental meeting with Mr. Pitch. I believe he was sat on a park bench when you just returned from your shopping trip for a blowtorch. You were all there though, weren't you? Yes. And you cast your mind back to a time when you were walking through a park and there was this man sat on a bench, dressed all in white, with a white trilby, with a black, what's it called, ribbon around it. White jacket, white shirt, white trousers, and white shoes, white socks, everything white.
See, as we were just passing, I just mentioned to the other two, do you think that's the chappie that does the chicken?
And as he's sat there, somebody comes up to him, a young lady, holding a Starbucks cup.
I rather thought he was. I thought he was the man who did the orange juice.
God damn it, I've told you I don't drink coffee, I can't stand the stuff! How many times have I told you? No coffee!
Oh, potential customer.
Yes, Lord, why don't you go and speak to the lady?
I go up to the young lady.
Wow, really?
I have that effect on people.
No, sorry, I can't. Oh,
Was there a
God!
long pause?
You,
How long am I going to hold this face?
Alfred's having a stroke.
you look like the That was the same expression my last blind date gave me.
Wow, guys.
And you said... You're just
Good
making me
morning.
hold this pose now, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm just
You'll be disappointed
Just-
otherwise.
I'm
We
trying
lost
to
our
gather
hammer.
my composure after that.
Yeah.
Good morning. See, I can't even do it.
Morning, sir.
I'm still several octaves up.
Would you like a copy?
No. No, why are you selling coffee, dear? When
I'm not selling. It's going unneeded.
why is it going unneeded?
Throw it away then.
Well, it would rot the grass.
Well, dispose of it correctly in a bin.
It's a bit big for the bin. It would fill up.
Look,
It's a coffee.
I tell you what. Here's a wonderful idea. Do you see that drain over there?
Yes, good idea.
So my idea is, once you get to the drain, throw yourself into it and let someone with more brains discard that cup of coffee more correctly.
Well said, says the man on the bench. Been meaning to get myself a better assistant for some time.
And yes, you're are you waiting on a plane to suddenly appear in the horizon?
No. I'm taking a break.
A coffee break?
Good grief, no. Can't stand the stuff.
What you require is a very high-class beverage.
Yes.
That is true.
Something for the discerning clients. Something with nice flavour and delicate undertones of maybe tobacco and herbs and something really, really different.
And a nice
Definitely.
four-fingered chocolate biscuit. Something you can take a break with.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
What you need is some Dashwood's tea.
At that point, I don't know if this would be the conviction point, but I thought for comical purposes, perhaps one of us goes into our pocket, gets out a little tiny table, presses a button, and it becomes like a sort of a portable table.
Like that idea. I like
kind of comes out, you know. So it's like a portable table, quite literally.
I like that idea. like an automated camping table.
I'm worried about the door this will unlock.
Or it doesn't have to be a tiny table. It could be something like, I don't know, sort of a suitcase that we carry around. That
briefcase.
becomes- table.
You can have a sample case with you at all times.
Keys in the lid.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Okay, yeah, you've got a briefcase with some Dashwood's tea in. That's fine. But of
With a
course,
little table.
a fold-out table. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll make it a briefcase that itself becomes part of the table. The legs are inside, along with the doily and the kettle and stuff. It's the future. You can have a kettle that boils itself without an obvious power source because it's got batteries or whatever. So yes, you set up a picnic table from a briefcase.
And there's a small refrigerated compartment for cucumber sandwiches.
I'll make a note on our.
Yes, but there's only one triangle of cucumber sandwich in there.
Okay, we can have this. We can have the two-fingered version of a particular chocolate wafer biscuit that you can take a break with.
I say. Dashwoods, did you say?
Yes, this is a very special import. We're calling it Dashwood's Export. It's horrendously expensive. It's just what you need.
I see. Well, I am horrendously rich, so that's fine. Do you have a business card by chance? Why, thank you.
Oh, that'd be a good gift.
Fantastic.
In fact, of course, by all means, feel free to sample these little essences here. But we actually have mass production with us at the moment. We're hoping to deliver it to certain potential clients. Would you be interested in a higher quantity of tea?
Let me sample the goods for now.
Of course.
So I will make him a cup of tea. I'll get the silver.
Okay.
Put some loose tea in the silver bowl.
Here we go.
Let's
Are we
have
going to do it?
Presents and arts and culture from you.
Presents and arts and culture. Okay, so let me see. What's that?
I should really be the one doing the tea pouring, I think, because that's my professional skill.
Okay, yeah, I made that. That was an 8. I rolled under a 14.
Okay. You make it absolutely correctly. But interestingly, he appears to observe the exact protocol with no hint or nudging required, no instruction or tuition. He just instinctively knows the correct way to drink a cup of Dashwood's tea.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Have you had Dashwoods before? Have you been privileged enough?
No.
Because you seem to know exactly what you're doing. I must commend you on your skill and refinement.
It seemed obvious.
That it is. But not everybody gets it.
And I do believe you, had a chocolate finger. Ah, yes, there it is.
Yes.
When he says seemed obvious, from my knowledge as well of the tea drinking and blah blah blah, with being my professional culture, is it possible to, just sort of have an instinct, or is it impossible?
Presence plus psychology.
Okay.
Actually, no, make it perception plus psychology.
Okay, that's slightly better. Good. Now I failed.
Well, he seemed to even have his little finger stuck out at the right angle and everything as he was drinking.
That was delightful. How much shall I make the check out to?
Do we know what price it is? I don't know. I don't remember.
You say the price, he writes the check, and he doubles it and hands it you.
Wow, that is very kind of you, sir.
It's a corporate check from Costa Coffee.
In fact, this is how we were able to pay for the rent.
Yes, do.
I kind of like the idea that Costa Coffee's paying our rent.
Yeah.
Oh, the irony, the sweet irony.
Interesting, says Madame Tussauds. How neither of you knew. Well, at least you didn't know. And Mr. Pitch did not know. Until you said Dashwood's tea. And then he knew. No wonder he got the business card. Very clever man is Mr. Pitch.
Hardly.
And of course he gave you the virus to check. The one that could dial into your bank account and lock it down. It gave us all the keys we needed to your business. That's how we managed to trace you. An innocent meeting in the park. Just couldn't help yourselves, could you? Couldn't help yourselves. Showing off your tea. Well, You're here now, and there's nothing you can do to stop my master plan. She pulls a big lever in the floor, and the whole office starts rotating, and as it does so, the window vista moves from the city to a gigantic manufacturing plant. Soon, the whole world will taste my Costa coffee. The whole world will come under my control, and there's nothing you can do. Nothing at all. And then, finally, I will be able to buy Great Britain. I've always loved the place. I love everything about it. The history, the characters, everything.
Yes, you're not quite there yet, of course. I mean, as much as you are.
In this scene, in the office scene, you're chained up and can't interact, deliberately so, because otherwise the plot couldn't go exactly where I wanted it to. It will be wonderful. I'll have corgis and everything. But what I do want to know is just what it felt like when you lost everything. When Mr. Pitch turned up to your offices. Tell me about that. Tell me how it went. I know you don't want to say anything, but under the effects of my coffee, you've been telling me everything. And your mind goes back to a day after all the other raids. In fact, it was only yesterday when you were in your shop doing the decor. What style did you decide in the end?
Well,
did we go with a sort of Victoriana sort of, you know, quaint little tea shop?
We're going to do that, or are we going to do like the 80s?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking a bit of Victoriana, paisley, with a hint of minimalism. So quite busy patterns, but more in kind of strips.
Yeah.
So the rest is quite minimal. So it's very focused on the tea.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I'll go with that.
Like glass tables, that kind of thing. All chic and lovely.
And we've got to have a white tablecloth and doilies for drinking tea?
Of course.
And how much have you spent on the renovation?
I would think quite a lot, because it's sort of front facing. It needs to look really nice and
So
attract people.
$2,000?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Easily, especially as Costa Coffee paid for it.
No, the check covered rent. It did not cover the renovation.
Okay.
So a couple of thousand. If you could remove that from your funds between you, agree how that happens.
I think I blew most of my funds on the deposit.
I've still got about 4,000 credits, so I can always pay for this.
I've got about 5 as well. We could split the difference.
Yeah, so by putting 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
And there you were, just lining up the cosy perfectly on the table, ready to open shop for your first day of business. When suddenly the window shatters, in comes a grenade, and there's a huge explosion. Your beautiful glass tables shatter instantly. The chairs are no longer laid out in the perfect feng shui pattern. They're blown to the walls and into smithereens. And in through the windows, in through the doors, and in through the ceiling somehow. Men in black overalls and balaclavas, carrying very big guns, and descend on you from all directions. And then as the smoke clears, in through the hole in the front wall of the building is Mr. Pitch.
Okay. I'm assuming that we were far enough from the blast radius to at least the pit to start to look at me. Okay, first thing I'm going to do when I see these people just kind of coming in, I'm going to turn my attention to the shards of glass, especially the big ones, and I'm going to use my telekinesis to essentially send them flying at them like frisbees.
Ooh. Okay, that's your statement of intent.
Yep.
Yes.
Lord, what's his name?
Yes.
Sorry,
Lord. His name is Lord.
Lord Nathaniel.
Lord Percival.
Lord Percival Chamberlain.
Ah, there we go. Found you on my list.
I am also going to nick into my psi powers. I am going to use psi assault.
Okay. Decide how many power points you're going to put into that, and Augustus.
I'm going to draw a gun and try and drop the first few that come through the window.
Okay. Everybody, roll your initiative. D10 plus reflexes. Highest goes first.
Oh.
Reflexes.
16.
13 for me.
14 for me.
Okay, so the first person to act is Mr. Pitch.
Oh.
Mr. Pitch casually opens a briefcase, lays it down on the floor, opens it up, and presses a button. Xerxes.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to...
Your glass flying stuff, so
Yeah,
telekinesis stuffs. How many points and attacks?
Yeah, I was just trying to work it out. Right, so it's telekinesis squared. Okay, so I'll spend 2 so I can lift 4 kilograms worth.
Okay.
4 kilograms worth of lovely shot glass.
Okay. And I think you kind of have to target an area to throw it at. So the guy's coming in through the front window, the guy's coming in through the ceiling, the guy's coming in through the door.
Yeah, it's going to be the front to give
Okay.
an impression of what we stand for.
Okay. 2 of the guys coming in through the front are they just covered in glass that's hit them. All of the glass swerves around Mr. Pitch.
Thought so.
Yeah. So yeah, the John is very badly wounded. Will have a limp for the rest of his life. And never actually works profitably ever again. He goes into a chronic depression and eventually commits suicide. Gregory, on the other hand, dies much sooner than that as an immediate result of the injuries. However, he is in hospital for a few days first in intense agony, and his family never recover from the medical debt.
Jesus Christ.
Next to act are the nondescripts. They're nondescript until you kill them anyway. Between them, they are not terribly successful. However, one of them does hit. Ronnie, you take 12 damage to a shotgun.
I do have that shield.
Shield does not power up.
Oh, balls.
You press the button and it just doesn't power up.
I hate that fucking shield. I just want to put that on record. I hate it. 12 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Where did we stand after the last session? Did we get anything back, or
Hit points, yeah, they'll be on full for this scene.
Okay.
Yeah. Next person to act is you, Lord Percival.
Lord Percival is going to be using 5 points of his telepathic energy to basically try and kick some arse using Psi Assault.
Okay.
Um,
So, if I remember rightly, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's intelligence plus 5, roll under it on 2d10, and then I think it's 25 damage. I think 5 squared.
It's
D6 per level.
D6 per point that I
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't read it
throw
in
in.
a long time, so.
Or is it D6 per level?
D6 per level.
Yeah, so that'll be
Oh,
D6. So it'll be
for that.
5d6.
5d6, yeah.
Mm.
Right, so
You
first
can do
of all,
things like
there's-
maximize and all various other effects. If I can remember the page. So if you put more telepathic points into it, you can do quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 74.
70. So 73's got a lot of things you can do. So you can force the power. The agent can spend telepathic points an additional time to make the power go off without a roll. So if you put 10 points into it, you don't even need to roll. You can maximise the damage if you spend the T cost again. So if you spent 15 points, you wouldn't have to roll, and you do maximum damage.
No, I'll go with what it is. I literally rolled it.
Okay.
I've got 14 in total, and I rolled 14, so I literally rolled it.
All right.
So it's 5d6 damage.
5d6 unless you want to maximise for another 5 psi points.
No. 20 points.
Okay. And is this one of the guys coming through the ceiling or coming in through the door?
Ceiling. Xerxes seems to be taking the guys at the door, so I'm just going to hit the guy in the ceiling. I get to kind of decide how mine looks.
No, Xerxes took out the guys coming through the what was formerly the front window.
Yeah, yeah. So he's kind of dealing with that. So I'm gonna deal with mine. I do get to decide how mine looks. It has no other. It doesn't matter how it looks. It has no other function other than visual. The example it gives is kind of lightning bolts, but it doesn't do electrical damage or anything. It just looks like lightning.
Yeah.
Mine is basically just gonna look like a hail of bullets. That's the visual.
Okay, so you fire a hail of silent psychic bullets at one of the guys coming in through the ceiling. He is definitely wounded, but not killed. Next is Phil. Augustus.
So, is there anyone coming in through the front? Anyone left? Do the people come through the doors?
Yeah, there's 2 people coming in through your front door. The 2 coming in through the window went down.
Yeah.
There's 2 coming in through the ceiling, one of whom is wounded. And then there's Mr. Pitch.
Yes. I will try and shoot Mr. Pitch, I think, actually.
Make your 2-hit rolls.
And that is firearms and...
It depends what weapon you're using.
It's the Black Cougar.
Yeah, so it's light firearms plus reflexes or reflexes, I think, isn't it?
Reflex.
Yeah. Or the AT column, if I made you fill that in, I usually do.
Yes, you did. I've missed that.
You rolled 3 times, though. You got rate 3.
Oh, okay. Made the second one. And made the third one as well.
Okay, roll your damage.
Okay, that's a 1 and a 3.
Okay. As the bullets pass near him, you see a brief camouflage pattern erupt as the bullet would have passed into him, and then fades away again. Right, it's now Mr. Pitcher's go. He dusts off his shoulder, holds out his hand, and then a sword teleports into it.
Oh, God.
He then holds out his other hand, and a sword teleports into that hand. They are both katanas.
thought so.
And he assumes some weird martial arts stance that you've not seen before in any movie. And he's facing down you, Jason, but he doesn't yet attack. He's waiting for his men to do the work. Jason.
Yes.
Yes. Please kill Mr. Two Swords.
I'm assuming that the EMP briefcase is still active. I have got nothing to, like, get rid of any kind of EMPs. Anything sort of extra. So, okay. Another comical moment coming up. I'm assuming in my decorative inspiration, in my time of muse, I decided to fit an incredibly elaborate chandelier in this foyer.
Is this your other conviction point, is it?
Why not? Why
okay. So yes, you've in fact quite a lot of the 2,000. But bear in mind the ceiling's just given way because people are coming in through it. Does that affect what you were going to do?
I was going to shoot at the chandeliers and send them coming down. But I didn't think the whole of the ceiling would be given way, maybe just a couple of holes.
If you're blowing a conviction point, I will put one just above Mr. Pitch.
Yep, yeah. I've got rid of it. All good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing made of crystal glass. It's also got quite a heavy support beam. So, yeah, well, you got twin Black Cougars, haven't you?
I do.
Yeah, so, you raise up and you shoot each end of the support beam so the whole beam comes down with the glass chandelier. And it does indeed land on Mr. Pitch. As it lands, though, there's a kind of like a camouflage-esque effect, and the chandelier kind of just passes past it, and then the beam hits his head, and he just... And next up is the nondescripts. Right, let's have some wild shotgun shooting. It's a mixed result. Right. Okay. Unfortunately, 2 shotgun shots do hit Ronnie. I rolled it. I'm so sorry. It's a total of 25 damage. Does that put you under?
That puts me at -2 hit points.
Okay, so Lord Percival does indeed go down in a hail of shotgun bullets. And you kind of see it out the corner of your eye. Of course, it's not dead as an agent, but, it just kind of looks temporarily. And
okay.
As he flies backwards, he hits the lovely cabinet you've got with all the bone china in, and that all smashes and tumbles to the ground.
I am secretly weeping at this.
My character has training in telepathy, but I'm not sure what that actually gives me. Can I use anything in that section? Can I?
No.
Hang
No,
on, you took the telepathy training,
Yes.
but you didn't take any skills in telepathic abilities, or did you? So when you look at your character sheet, you've got normal skills here,
Yeah.
telepathic skills there. Did you put any points into these?
Oh, I see. That's what I was looking for. Okay, yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use the telepathic assault
Okay.
on the. Sorry. On Mr. Pitch.
Okay. What's your assault ability and how many points you're putting into it? You can put up to your ability.
The assault ability is 8.
Okay, and are you putting 8 points into it?
I'll put 8 points into it.
Are you putting 8 points to maximise damage?
Yes.
Are you going to put an additional 8 points in so you don't have to roll?
That comes off my... Yeah, I can do.
Okay, so that's it's 24 telepathic points going into this attack.
Okay.
Let me see.
Drops it down quite a bit, but we're not hurt
64.
this guy.
48 damage.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought I wanted to square it.
Okay. Oh, sorry, squared is it?
No, you're right. Sorry, I was mansplaining.
Yeah. D6 per level, I think. Yeah. That's right. That's when Mr. Pitch went down, and he still hasn't spoken a word ever since that, says Madame Two Swords. You hurt him very hard, you naughty boy. Of course, that was how the shop got ruined, and, well, it's no loss, really. I didn't know we had the same landlord, but I'm taking him to court tomorrow anyway. I'll soon own everything he had, so I'll own your shop. Wonderful. I think I'll turn it into a little kennel for my corgis. Yes, that would be wonderful. Now, obviously, we had to send around more men. A lot more men. Too many for you to cope with. Mr. Pitch was there, of course, but he's not been the same since. And that brings us to how you ended up here. And then the phone rings in her office. Hello? How did you get this number?
It's a cold call or something.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not paying too much for my car insurance.
Compromising images, you say? That would be amusing. He did what? And how much do you want for these? I would love to see it.
Shit.
Yes. Yes, do. I'll send a helicopter. She puts the phone down. Well, it seems that somebody has bought you a reprieve. I'm going to keep you alive for a little longer.
At this stage, I feel more repulsed that she's going to like have pleasure watching me do the stuff in that video.
Okay, at this point, I kind of need to take a moment just to think of what happens next, unless we kind of end it there on that cliffhanger.
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah, it's a good
I
cliffhanger.
like that as a cliffhanger, yeah.
Okay, then.
I like that. I like that as a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So,
God.
we've run out of viewers, I think, on the stream. I think we scared them away just after the break. So, if you've watched this far, thank you very much indeed for watching this far. Don't forget to tweet at James Norbury, tell him to watch this show. He does die in it, though. Rather undramatically. I kind of just needed a name. Whenever the players kill someone, I just, tell them what they've done. And that means, give them a name, makes them more real and human, and his name was on my head. So yeah, sorry James. If you are watching this, James, even though you obviously die in your dark future having been brainwashed by Costa Coffee, don't worry, hopefully you'll have good times before then.
And to be fair, it was quick and relatively painless. It was quick. It was boom. There was no malice or torture or slow removal of entrails. Just,
Yeah, sorry James. Okay, I'm going to end the stream there. So thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.